To roll the calves, generally we want to envision two lines down the back of the lower leg, not necessarily in the center, though it is possible to roll that in the deeper calves, but you want to have an inner calf area and an outer calf area. So when I roll, I try to make it as easy as possible. So we're going to want to pick the muscle belly, so generally the upper half of the calf. And for technique, we always want to do the segmental method, which means, so for the outer one, my toes are going to be pointed out about 30 degrees. And of course, as I was going to mention, for technique, it is the segmental method, which means 1 inch, 10 rolls. Okay, then I'm going to go down to the next segment, 1 inch, 10 rolls. That is how we keep it systematic, but you can just do it symptomatically wherever the discomfort is. For a lot of people, one leg on the roller is inadequate. So what we want to do is add the other leg to apply more pressure. Now you can put the foot on the ground or on the roller to apply a partial pressure, or we can put it directly stacked on top. Now, one thing to remember is we need to relax the feet. We don't want to be tensing it, because if that's too much discomfort, we're being counterproductive. So we want to make sure it's adequate pressure so that we feel it without feeling the need to engage or tense. And then we're going to be doing our rocking movement, and I just keep moving my body headward and the roller moves down my calf. Of course, I can turn it to the inside calf and then do those movements as well. So that is for what we call the gastrocnemius muscle, which is the most superficial muscle. If I'm going to get the layer underneath that, which is the soleus muscle, you can do those, but sometimes it also helps to turn even more to get to a 45-degree turn and do your vertical segments down there, and even on the outside doing that vertical line segment by segment. If I want to do the Achilles, I'm going to lower the roller towards my heel, and really generally we go where the pain is, and you can find, is it on the outside, is it on the back, is it on the inside, and you will turn your foot accordingly. I do find it's necessary to really stack on this one, and sometimes we do want to get something even more aggressive than a foam roller, such as a water bottle that does not have the foam and is smaller in diameter, and you want to just make sure that it's to your tolerance. The last thing we need to cover is the muscle on the outside of the lower leg called the peroneals, right on the side. Now we don't want to hit the top or the bottom, we want to hit the section in the middle. Generally we hit about 5 spots in the middle. We have a nerve coming down from behind the knee up here, which is generally why we want to roll this, to relieve the pressure on that nerve, but we don't want to hit this nerve. So always 5 segments in the middle. To do that, I will go in onto my calf. I will turn my foot all the way over, and as I do so, I'm going to turn onto my right hip. I'm going to keep turning, hand placement still behind me, but we want it so that my foot is parallel to the floor, not even turned up a degree, parallel to the floor, if not turned down a slight. And then I'm going to stack, because that's what my tolerance is. And then I'm going to do my rocking motions, of course, keeping those toes relaxed so you're not tensing too much. And then I just always move my body relative to the roller, and the roller keeps moving down toward my feet. And I'm generally doing 5 segments along the outer lower leg, trying to hit that muscle. For some people, unstacking can be adequate, but I do find that in terms of trying to get things done productively, we really want to stack and move down those 5 segments.